Good evening to all present here. I'm Akanksha Chandra from Startup India team. Welcome to the session of Rise Up series Space Innovation Building a Collaborative Space Program. As a part of the National Startup Awards, we launched the Rise Up series Building from Bricks to learn from different experts across industries, innovations, and domains about key trends and the overall startup ecosystem. National Startup Awards is a flagship program undertaken by the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade as a part of the Startup India initiative. The call for applications for the third edition NSA 2022 has been opened from 1st February. Today, we have with us Mr. N Sudheer Kumar, Director CBPO of ISRO. He is responsible for capacity development in the areas of research and academia interface, startup incubation, industrialization, indigenization, technology transfer, technical infrastructure, and outreach activities of ISRO. We welcome you, Mr. Kumar. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, today, the Indian space program is reaching new heights with record launches and programs unlocking India's potential in space and putting India on the world map. Recently, there has been an increased push towards Atmanirbharta, and with that, we'll begin our session. So, opening up of the Indian space sector for the private sector in 2020 has been one of the major reforms in India. How does this impact the overall standing of the Indian space sector?
Thank you, Krisha, for inviting me for this interactive session. Probably, I think uh, many of the viewers through different links must be watching this one. I'm very delighted and happy to share my thoughts on the specific questions that you are being asked for, which will definitely help the startups and other people to get rejuvenated with the whatever the information and there's a knowledge they have on the Indian space system, space sector. See this. If you say 1970, the programs have been started in a very humble way, and it has been taken in a very big way from a pencil rocket, which will be carried in cycles and satellites in the bullock carts. Today, we move 450 tons rocket launch vehicle on the pad. So that is the scale up has happened in 5 decades, I should say. And right from the beginning, the Indian industry only has been doing this subsystems development. But overall integration, of course, ISRO was doing because of several reasons, whatever the reason, strategic or uh, whatever the reasons that you called about, and the R&D effort, and at that time sustainability, at that time self-reliance. But of course, we have reached a mature stage where we can give away some of the, let's say, mature systems to the industry so that we can concentrate, ISRO can concentrate more on the R&D aspects. With that, Union Cabinet has approved the unlocking of the space sector to give more. It is not that earlier industry was not there. Now the capability increase, capacity increase. Today, let us say largest number of launches what we had done so far could be 7 or 8 missions, or including satellite missions 10 or 12. With that, you should not restrict. Now, global economy, space economy is growing. Internet bandwidth requirements are going. E-commerce is growing. So for that one, the space economy also, Indian space economy also has to grow because of, let us say, competitive labor, qualified labor force. There is an ample chance to grab the global markets. So it is definitely evident that Indian industry and Indian, let us say, qualified youth is going to grab the global share, including the Indian economy in the space domain. With this unclocking, we don't have any doubt, and we are marching very fast ahead of the, let us say, our expectations in this area.
Thank you, sir. But we have noticed that till date, we have less than 100 DPIT recognized space tech startups. What do you think is the cause of such a low number of startups in the space sector, and how can we promote more startups to take up space based activities considering the continuous importance and the growing need to work towards space as a sector?
See, this registration is only a just registration, I should say. Let us say if they have registered under aerospace domain and space, We have only taken that particular thing. It doesn't mean that other startups are not entering into or not doing the business in the space sector. See, space is not a defined domain with some limits. You call it as urbanization, you call it as forestry, you call it as agriculture, water management, fisheries. Every sector, there is a space component. And this is a technology which can be made applicable for many ministries, many domains. It doesn't mean that 100 space startups doesn't mean that they are only the people who are, let's say, engaged with the space applications. No, maybe we may have to drive some kind of survey. Probably I think in multiple folds the startups will be definitely would be there in my expectations who are into the let us say space applications or space business. So these 100 numbers don't get carried away with it. But in my assumption or in my confidence, this is much more, which requires a separate survey to be done.
Absolutely, sir. Coming to one of the key issues in the sector, any sector for that matter, investors. Considering that space is a capital intensive sector with long gestation period, how can we promote more investors and VC funds to fund space tech startups?
The risky, the high intensity is a blessing in the disguise. See, because of that reason, Government of India and Indian Space Research Organization, Department of Space, opened the gates for facility utilization by the industries. So the industries, they can apply to InSpace and seek, let us say, permission or let us say, what you call the access to the ISRO facilities to carry out their programs. So capital intensive is not the hurdle. I no longer see the capital intensiveness and risky is a hurdle for growth. It is an enabler, I should say. So today we have opened our doors to share our facilities, and if the same person or same industry has to invest, they must invest at least crores. It is only a marginal addition they have to do to deliver the product or to achieve the service. So I feel that this is a blessing. Okay, and I hope that many industries will come forward to make use of our facilities, and hand-holding support is ensured, subjected to, let's say, evaluation, because all these technical parameters would be there. In fact, we have signed many couple of MOUs with the startups and industry to share our critical facilities.
Absolutely, sir. But we do feel that some sort of investor education also needs to take place because most VC funds and investors would be slightly reluctant to invest directly into space tech startups. Do you feel this is where government can play a more active role?
I agree with you. I agree with you. On case to case basis, we are also interacting with VCs through startups. Probably, I think what I feel is in the space sector, a confidence building kind of interactive session would benefit many VCs. Definitely, I am also looking for such kind of interactive session soon. We conducted this particular session a couple of months back. Around 22 to 23 people, including accelerators, incubators, and venture capitalists, participated. But on case to case basis also, we have been giving them confidence. But I do agree that it has to grow in a multiple floors. Our cooperation is fully there with anybody whoever comes forward for a kind of let's say interactive session or conference building session.
Right, sir. Space sector is of crucial national strategic importance. How can we balance national security with this private sector participation now?
See, national security is one thing definitely should be considered, and most of our applications are civil applications, civilian applications. And majority of the space economy, if you see majority of the space economy, I'm not telling that the security, national security is not at the low front. But if you see the major applications, whether I was again naming the same industries, agriculture is, India is an agricultural economy based in a based country. Forests we have, huge water resources we have, fisheries we have, mineral resources we have. The applications side, there is a huge ample and huge scope for any startups to gain. Okay, That's there is nothing like sacrificing the national security and concentrating only on the that is there are two parallel paths which which can independently work and yield benefits to the industry community and entrepreneurs or academia.
So, with the increased focus on Atmanirbhar Bharat, what is the way ahead for ISRO now and the Indian space program for Vision 2030? What are we looking forward to in the coming decade?
Okay, see, space you can broadly categorize space into three broad categories. One is transportation system, which covers the launch vehicles and let us say infrastructure, launch vehicle, spaceport, such kind of things. The second thing is space assets, that is satellite and ground systems. The third is space applications. The space applications is only the way to capture the major chunk of economy, because it's almost even the international reports are available. If you take X is the entire space economy, 60 to 70% occupied by the space applications. It is only a couple of, let's say, maybe less than 50% is for the launch vehicle and satellite applications. Of course, that 12% is generate revenue for 60%, that is obvious. But today, Atmanirbhar, as far as the launch vehicle manufacturing is concerned, satellite manufacturing is concerned, we have achieved relative Atmanirbharta. Not right now, maybe from 80s, 90s, because all of our subsystems are produced in the industry, and we are self-reliant. Except for electronics, majority of the materials, structures, propellants, entire thing are built and manufactured in the Indian industry, I should say. Because already in the two areas, that is space transportation system and satellite manufacturing, except for some electronic components, we have already reached Atmanirbharta. Then when it comes to the space applications, of course, we have a very strong software background. India is the one of the what you call leading countries in the software, and majority of the applications are either artificial intelligence driven, machine learning, such kind of AR, VR techniques, and software driven. I am definitely sure with the decision government of India has taken for opening up the unlocking the space sector, especially in the applications area. Lot many startups, young entrepreneurs will take lead. Government programs are also there. We are also very strongly and seamlessly working with the ministries to open up new avenues and new opportunities for the people to come grab and work on this one. Definitely, Atmanirbharta is, I think, I should say, ISRO set a role model for the Atmanirbharta, not from the days we started telling Atmanirbharta, right from 90s, we are the role models.
Right, sir. Additionally, how do you think that the government ministries should start considering geospatial data while formulating policies when it comes to agriculture, waste management, disaster management? How can we get ministries to incorporate these while coming up with new decisions?
No, this already, I should say that this already initiation of interministerial discussions and the interactions have started long time back, even 2016. None other than Honorable Prime Minister itself has taken a special session for all the 60 ministries to integrate the space applications to the various ministries. And several projects were rolled out. Several projects were rolled out because seamlessly, because they're all will go internally. Ultimately, outside people may not be knowing what are the projects, but we have a list of projects completed. And we are also working with the interministerial ministries with the help of principal scientific advisors office to get into more and more, let us say, challenges and hackathons. The way that the days to come, probably many more such opportunities will get to know. The people who are watching, they should keep watching such kind of opportunities. I request all of them to come forward and take this, let us say, opportunities and participate in a very big way for resolving, applying the technological solutions and tools and apps for the real time problems.
Thank you so much, sir. This has been great. We would like to get some very interesting questions that we have received from the audience. The first one is that the Union Minister of State, Science and Technology recently mentioned that the government plans to open and allow FDI to boost the investments in space sector by the foreign players. Is there any timeline for this to take place as of now?
See, timeline is that all depends on the application processing, because there is also government is also enabling FDAs through DPIT, very ease of doing the business. Such kind of timelines, there are no specific timelines because it's a continuous process. As they come, we have to evaluate on case to case basis, and without sacrificing our own interests. And the government approvals, and anyhow they are there, whether it is a space business or medical business or any area, we have government policies in place. We go strictly by the government policies and enable them as early as possible. This is a continuous process. I don't think there is a timeline. If you put a timeline for that, I don't think it is a correct proposition. It is a continuous process.
Right, so we'll take up one more question. Defense has more room for innovation today to boost indigenous business through procurement from Indian startups via programs like IDEX, that is the Innovation for Defense Excellence. Can we envisage a similar program for space as well?
Yes, yes, that's it. My question is definitely yes. In sense, I'll qualify my statement. Yes, IDEX is a superb model, but it is backed up by defense production. And recent government announcements of making in India so many products that gives more leverage to the startups in India to get penetrate more. But space is a little bit changed, a little bit different from defense production, because here we have to our niche area is a very niche area, and ISRO's support is required either in mentorship or let us say academia support is required for bringing out the problems and finding out the ways and means to resolve the issues. Today we have a space startup, let us say space technology incubation centers which are installed at different NITs across the country. They are doing the same thing, innovation. Even in our within ISRO, we take so many R&D projects or technology demonstration projects which we invite industry and academia people and research scholars. These are all innovation. Okay, in the DRDO or their defense production is doing in one way, but ISRO is doing another way, but we are doing innovation. The challenges are being given, even Atal challenges. AAM, we are coordinating with Atal Innovation Mission, and challenges are being what you call launched. And we are also constantly discussing with Startup India and Invest India. We have Agni program supporting by Agni, throwing the innovation challenges. So innovation, there is no what you call structured this one for innovation like IDEX, but ISRO in multiple ways are entertaining. ISRO is entertaining the innovation challenges, and we are bringing the projects and startups and companies for our innovation program.
Thank you so much, sir. This has been an absolutely insightful session. The ecosystem stakeholders would have gained deep insights from your words. With this, we come to an end of our session today. We would like to inform all startups, incubators, and accelerators to apply for the National Startup Awards 2022. The applications close on 15th April 2022. Thank you to all of you present in the audience. And thank you so much, sir, for joining us today.
Thank you, Akansha. I also say all the best for all the people who are going to apply. Please sincerely apply for the award. This is an opportunity government of India is giving to you people. Please make use of this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.